out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh my God, Davis is going to run it all the way back. He's going to win the football game.
Like you're 1v1 against Mitch and Ron. The first one is the moon fake. It's gotta be the alligator.
Fucking alligator.
I don't know how much an alligator weighs. Let's say an alligator weighs 400 pounds. I have no fucking clue. That fucker weighs 4 tons. I don't know. What's good, everybody? It's your boys, Travis, Kate, and TJ on the 2 Kill Time podcast, the TKT podcast, your favorite podcast on all podcast streaming platforms like Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Boys, how was our week? We have no like crazy intro, but how was y'all's week?
What up? My week, it was a bland week. Work was pretty rough.
Rough one.
Didn't really do much other than just kind of work. I mean, it sounds like the same. I say the same shit every week, but
sometimes that's how it is, bro.
Yeah, it's just been a grind lately.
Yeah,
but
It's kind of the part of being an adult, unfortunately, right?
yeah, sadly.
Yeah, pretty much.
My week was okay. I usually do something, and like I went to a Preds game that was fun, but nothing like super memorable happened. Like it was Star Wars night, so we got like this cool jersey. The only real kind of the one's a story, the one's just I kind of want to talk about it.
You got a whole jersey?
Yeah, like it's like a fake, like not, I don't want to say knockoff, but like the team, they give it to you and it's got like Baby Yoda on the front of it, and it's got like the team's colors. It doesn't have like a name
Pretty
or
cool.
anything on the back.
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah, it was kind of fire. So I was leaving work. I want to say it was like Wednesday, and when you pull into our community, so like this is like the normal road, and then it tees off, right? Well, if you go to the left, you go to our community. If you go to the right, it's like a housing complex, like a bunch of different, like, kind of same cookie-cutter houses. And normally, like, you see people walking their dog or something over to the right. Well, this time, I saw a guy, and as I was pulling out, you can see, like, directly over to this road. It's not, like, super far. And I thought this gentleman had a fucking pressure washer for a penis, dude. Like, he was doing the casual fucking, like... You know, like just
No hands?
No hands. It looked like he was legitimately fucking pissing at 100 PSI. And so again,
wait.
I like
What the fuck?
I couldn't see a hose like coming out like the back, like falling down to the ground or anything. But there's no way this guy was pissing at that fucking pressure, dude. Like
So he was carving out.
like, you know, like a garden hose, it just kind of like, you know, just kind of comes out and falls. And then you have a pressure washer, which
Sure.
like kind of cones out. It wasn't like that. It was like a fucking fire hose, like streamlined, like flying, dude.
You saw this guy pissing?
How hard were you checking this man?
Not hard. That's why I said I thought he was pissing, but he couldn't have been because of how much fucking. It was one of those things where I got to the stop sign, the width of the road, and then 10 feet. And as I went to turn, I saw this guy, and I fucking stopped and looked again because I thought he was pissing. And I don't know what he was doing, but I couldn't see a hose. I couldn't see a pressure washer. I didn't see a fire hydrant, like nothing. And there's no way he was pissing, but it was like the perfect angle of this guy looked like he had a fucking fire hose just launching. Because it wasn't like just a couple feet and then a drop off. Or like even like a straight line like down. No, like it was like a 10 feet and then it fell. Yeah.
Okay, well, no one's pissing 10 feet.
I know, but like, dude, perspective and like a quick glance, like I stopped and did a double take and I examined it for probably another 5 seconds just to like check the surroundings, see if there was like a hose or anything. And I didn't see anything, bro.
He had to do a double take.
Yeah, he had to have been pissing. I don't know where the water would have been coming from.
These, along with like most stories, dude, you need to like know the characters involved. Like, you know how we know each other?
Yeah.
And you can just picture like your senses. Like, I get this vision that you're just walking, you look over, you're like,
It's like I picture it in a TV show, like a guy walking down the street, and he like stops at the end of like the driveway, and like he just kind of looks at, hey Mark, and he stops and he's like, mind you, the camera's just panned on Mark, and the guy's like blurry in the background. And you just see him like go to step and stop and turn a couple times. Like,
He's like, what the fuck?
I just thought it was
That's-
fucking
yeah.
hilarious. The only other thing I did this week was, me and Haley bought a pork butt to make pulled pork like a week ago, and it was frozen. We were gonna make it yesterday,
Fire.
but there was tornadoes, so we decided not to grill it. Shout out
Good
and
call,
prayers to
probably.
everybody that was involved in the Middle Tennessee tornadoes. Me and Haley are safe, but there's a lot of people that
I
are
didn't
hurt
hear
right
anything
now.
about that, bro.
Yeah, Clarksville and damn, I literally just had it up. Clarksville was hit pretty bad. Like it was not good out in
Yeah,
Clarksville, and
you
then
know.
Hendersonville got hit too. They were PDS tornadoes, which I didn't know what that meant until yesterday, but it means like potentially dangerous situation or something like that, which is like not a normal tornado, I guess. I didn't know there was like different. I knew there was like
Levels?
categories, but
Yeah.
like I didn't know it was like there's abbreviations and shit. But so we ended up going to the store. Anyways, and I bought a rib roast, and instead of making ribs, I cut them up into like 6 individual steaks. So I'm gonna make steaks today, and then I'm making 2 steaks, and then I'm taking the other 2 and cutting them up into slices, like thin slices, and making some like carne asada tacos on the smoker.
Yeah, that sounds
Pretty
fire.
fire.
Pretty pumped.
You know, obviously, you
you.
don't want to make jokes about certain stuff. I feel that when me and TJ move there, just our luck, dude, we're gonna be in the apartment for about a month, and then a
Yeah.
fucking
Well, I can't.
right,
I
right
can't
through
remember
that
what
bitch.
the rule is,
Like,
but they say like it's
Yeah,
like
and
once
we're on-
every it's like once every 10 years it can happen in like a certain square mile radius, or like there's like a general rule of thumb for like the tornado valley. And the last one that really like wreaked havoc was like 2010, like in downtown. And like we had one in when we first moved here, but it wasn't anything like it wasn't really bad. Like it was bad, but not like the 2010 one. So like Nashville was overdue. So hopefully it's another 10 years, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, count
Yeah,
on.
no. Yeah, would be
around-
our luck though.
But that was like where our old house was. Hendersonville's like maybe 20 minutes northeast. So like Nashville got hit with really bad storm. Like we got some lightning and thunder, but nothing like really bad, just heavy rain.
Yeah.
And Nashville got like heavy winds, heavy rain, like lightning, thunder, hail.
Have you been able to see them?
The tornadoes?
Yeah.
No. Like would I have been able to see the one in Nashville? Maybe. Like where we were, the 2010 one basically came straight down Broadway, essentially.
Wow.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Dude, because I'm just thinking about it. Maybe I would handle it better if I actually saw a tornado, dude, and it was coming.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, like I'd
Yeah,
probably
you're-
panic, a little bit at least.
Yeah. Like
Hang
Be like,
on.
oh, shit. So
we
yeah.
watch shout out to Ryan Hall on YouTube. His name's Ryan Hall the Y'all. He like has this $1,000 fucking studio in his house where he like tracks storms and he has people go out and storm chase for him. But so that's who Haley always watches. And he says that as soon as it goes to PDS, like if you're in a tornado warning, helmet if you got it, like a bike helmet or anything, because that's how you're probably gonna die. That's most injuries are by falling debris. Grab your shoes, grab a pillow, get to your safe space, don't walk, run. And like that, like you can't, there's nothing you can do. It's a giant fucking wind tunnel. Like
That's what I'm saying, dude.
you
If
can't.
I actually saw one like 5
Wild.
minutes from me,
It's just crazy
I'm
because like,
hauling
and,
ass.
and you have no idea really the trajectory. Like they can predict it based off of like the rotations and stuff. But like once it hit the Cumberland, like it went down and then back up and like just different shit.
Do you know if you could see a tornado, and if it looks like it's not moving, it's
coming
coming
right
right
at
at you?
Yep.
really.
Yeah, another good sign.
Really?
Is if there's a storm, the sky kind of turns like a greenish
Now that
hue.
brings me to a next cutscene because I'd be in our apartment living room looking out the window, looking at the tornado, and I go, "Yo, TJ, this thing isn't moving." He's like, "Yeah, that's coming right at us."
Yeah, that means
the good
it's
thing is it's
probably-
way over there. We're fine.
Yeah.
Fucking
It hasn't moved in a minute, so we're good.
yeah. So like another rule of thumb is if the sky turns like a greenish hue like that, you're probably gonna have a tornado, like with the clouds and shit. And then if you hear like a train, that means a tornado is like close, like it's coming.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it,
Okay.
it
All right, good to
legitimately
know.
sounds like
Good
a
to
fucking
know.
locomotive outside your house.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
But you don't have to deal with
Word.
snow that much.
Huh?
You don't have to deal with snow that much, so win loss,
Checks and
That's
balances.
absolutely, that's a deal breaker.
win loss,
I'll take it.
But Travi, how was your week, buddy?
Yeah, man.
You've been kind of like MIA the last like 2 weeks. I feel like we
I
haven't
haven't
talked like at all other than the podcast.
Yeah.
I know, dude. This is the most I've talked to you since you've been home, I think. It was probably just as, if not more, boring, or as equal to your guys' week. I was like eating out a lot, dude. I was hanging out with Matt and Chris a lot, and I was like, oh my god! Like, not only am I gaining the weight back that I've lost, but I'm also like spending all this money.
Yeah,
It adds up.
Yeah,
Quick.
and yeah, so the last 2 weeks, man, I was like, all right, changes need to be had. Like, this should have been done months ago, but here we are. Can't worry about that. Only focus on what you're doing now. So I literally go to work, come home, and I've spent no money unless it's bills or gas. Obviously, that's a whole different story because I have a bunch of bills anyways.
yeah,
So it's not like
Right.
I should be having extra money to go out with anyways. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I was doing that, and that was kind of the issue at hand.
yeah.
And that's why it's been boring, dude. I
Oh.
literally... What?
You got to splurge a little. A little retail therapy never hurt no.
A little bit, but the
Here and
problem
there.
that I have, dude, is that I'm either all in or I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm either like, if I'm gonna be spending money, like if I'm going out and doing something, I'm definitely getting the works.
Yeah, like whenever me and Haley
I'm
go
just
out,
not
it's not
gonna
just
do
like
it.
go out. Like,
Fair enough.
granted, like if
You
we go to
gotta.
like McDonald's and stuff, like yeah, that's one thing. But if we're going out to the bar, we're like, all right, we're spending money tonight. Like we're not.
Right.
We're spending money.
So that's my
Yeah.
thing. Like, and so it's nice to know that about myself, but it's not, because all of a sudden you eat out once or you spend like a quick $5 or $7, and it's like, all right, that's good. But then you do that 5 times compared to spending $20 once, and now you're 40
Yeah.
in the hole.
Yeah.
So it's just better to like cold cut everything, not even tempt myself, you know?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we were talking about this right before the pod. We always try to kind of hash out like what we're going to talk about a little bit and just let the conversations just take us wherever they go. But we do have like some certain topics that we want to get to. Sometimes we don't get to them all. This is one that we wanted to talk about. Like when we were talking about it before the pod, you realize how much money you actually make or how much money you actually spend when you don't spend money. Like,
Yeah.
I know that sounds fucking really stupid, but $15 an
obvious.
hour goes way farther than a lot of people think. Like if you're not going out and getting Starbucks every day, and it's the Dave Ramsey bullshit of, well, if you didn't get $4 worth of Starbucks every day, you could afford that house that your parents bought in 1950 for 40 grand. Like, no, shut the fuck up. Like that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is $15 an hour is pretty livable in today's society. Yes, shit's expensive, but like if you're not going out and buying $15 worth of McDonald's once a day or $10 worth of McDonald's, because the cheapest meal on it, like if you're talking a large meal, like a double quarter pounder, fries with a drink, you're talking 12 to $15, bro. Like after tax.
Bro, I never eat at McDonald's. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean it's just a reference, you know what I'm saying? Like
No, I get
I
that.
just
It's you're talking minimum
yeah,
12.
like
Probably
you go
if you're getting a
anywhere
meal.
for a meal and you're talking $12 to $15. Like, if
Yeah,
you
even
do that
meals,
twice
dude,
or three times a week, like I had where I
it's
work,
60.
I typically will get lunch if I'm not like fasting or something that week. I'll go to get lunch, and that adds up. Like a fucking foot long from Jersey Mike's is $20 with tip. Like, that's
Yeah.
fucking insane, dude. Like, that's so expensive. And this actually brings up a little funny thing. We were talking about it yesterday, me and Brian, while we were playing COD. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Home Alone, like the movie.
yeah, very familiar.
Pretty
So his
pretty
shopping
familiar.
spree was like it was $19 and like 38 cents or something like that in 1990. And if you went and bought the same exact items today, it would be $78 or $73, like almost 250% increase over the span of
What the
30 years,
fuck?
which is fucking insane. Like, he didn't get anything crazy,
Right.
and like I said, I know shit's expensive, $70 for the minimal shit that he had bought. But like, just one person, like, that's, you go buy a couple fucking frozen pizzas for the week, gives you dinner that night if you eat 4 pieces and 4 pieces for lunch the next day, and then you go home and make another fucking pizza. Like, frozen pizzas are like $5 to $10. Boom, there's grocery shopping. I don't have to go out the rest of the week, like, whatever.
Even food,
They're
man.
like
If you're getting,
they're at least 8 now.
Yeah.
yeah, if you're
8
getting
to
drinks at
8 to
Dunkin'
10.
like every day, or me, I'll stop to Stewart. So I have this thing where I try to like treat myself. So at work
It's the
and
little
kind
things,
of at
bro.
home. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've been eating really good. I've been drinking really good. So after work, I'll be like, I'll buy a bottle of like Mountain Dew Zero Sugar.
Yeah.
But then like you do that 7 days a week at
Yeah,
almost $3 a
250.
bottle.
Yeah, 250 fucking adds up to $10 at 5 days a week. Like, 10
Like,
bucks is 3 gallons of gas. Like,
right.
just little shit like that. But like, that's the difference. Is there's a difference between doing it because it's the little things, doing it just to spend money, or because you want this one thing. Like, going out and getting a bottle of Mountain Dew every day, or going out and getting like a fucking full on McDonald's meal every day. I mean, you're talking $10 compared to 250. You're adding up
Right.
quick. But like TJ said, retail therapy, you got to splurge a little bit, like, enjoy your life. But there's also time for that too, man. Like, if you guys are trying to get down here, like, that may be a thing. Like, hey, for the next, I don't even know, it's December, you guys are trying to get down here in April. Next 3 months going to be tight. But hey, when I get there, like, I'm going to be there. It'll be rough for the first 6 months once I'm there. But after that, like, if I can do this for a year, you're going to be balling. That's what me and Haley did. When we graduated college, like, one, the world was shut down, so it made it easy on us because we couldn't fucking go do anything anyways. So for the first 6 months that we were there, or in New York, the last 6 months, it was boring, but we saved up a ton of money. And then when we moved here, it sucked. We didn't really like where we lived, but it was nice enough. It had a yard. We got a dog, and we made decent enough money to cover our expenses plus live a little bit. And then our second year while we were here, we're living in a nice fucking 2-bedroom right in downtown, fucking making great money, have 2 dogs. Like, yeah, the first year that we were doing it was rough. We didn't know anybody down here, that type of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But now,
That's
like,
a lot.
I mean, we got a fucking 3-bedroom house with a bonus room upstairs, a fenced backyard, 2 great cars, 2 great dogs. Like, Haley's a fucking property manager now. Like, what may suck for
doing
6 months is gonna be better long term type thing. Is all I'm trying to get at. Like, a lesson in life. Just if you're trying to do something, just fucking do it. I told you guys that forever now with coming down here. Like, it's as easy as saving up a couple thousand so you're good by the time you get here. Make sure you have a job when you get here. Yeah, that's it. That's it. A place to live, a job, and a couple grand so you can cover your first month bills if your job doesn't go well. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. You
Fuck
figure out how much you have to make at that job. Excuse me. You have to figure out how much you have to make at that job to cover your expenses. Like, You figure out what your rent's going to be. You figure out what you spend a month in gas, because gas is cheaper down here. Just a little shit. You have to plan and make it work, and it's going to be tight for a while, but it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun once you get your feet under you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
No,
A
it
hell of
really
a lot
is.
of fun. But don't forget the little things like we were just talking about. A Mountain Dew every day may be the difference in your fucking sanity or your happiness. Like that.
I know that's so weird to say out loud, though. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
it shouldn't be.
it's dumb, but like
A
look at the
little,
movie
yeah.
Zombieland, man. Like it's cliche, but it's the little things.
He
It
just
really
wanted his
is. Like
Twinkie, man.
the difference in my day, like coming home and seeing my dog, that's a difference. That's a little thing. Like, yeah, okay, he's here every day anyways, but it's a little shit, man. Hopping on for an hour just to talk to you guys, whether I play or not. Like, when we record the podcast late, if we record it around 6, 7 o'clock at night, by the time we're done and I'm rendering, I'll join the Discord if everybody's in there and talk. Like, it's the little things. Like, just being able to talk to you guys, like, for a little bit afterwards or enjoy the conversation. Like, yeah. Did I get to play? No, but at least I got to talk with my friends. Just that shit. It's super important to mentality and mental health.
Yeah, that's a fact.
No, definitely.
I think it can
That's
be
one thing, man. I'm definitely been getting better with
Did
is
everyone
dealing with mental health.
Yeah.
How about you guys? You been taking healthy? A little
Yeah.
mental health?
Yeah,
Precautions?
I've been pretty good lately. Going home is always nice, so like that helps out a lot. Makes you realize like who you miss, and it's always good to see everybody. And as much as it makes you realize other things too, like it's always good to see everybody, and it always like makes going home worth it more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just I don't know, like it rejuvenates you. Like you guys will see when you come down here the first time you go home and you come back, like you'll be sad that you're leaving again, or you'll be sad that you're here and they're up there, but it almost rejuvenates your mental health. Like, all right, like they're good, I'm good, we're doing this. This is happening. Like I'm
Yeah.
living my life. They're okay. They can do this without me. I can do this without them, and it's like a rejuvenating feeling in your mind.
How about you?
Well, that's reassuring. Me?
Oh yeah.
Well, I take it a day at a time.
Well,
But definitely. Nah, I could be doing better. I think, but
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I'm doing it.
Yes, sir.
I did think about this though. I know we talked about it last week, but us in the Jeep through the woods.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's like almost how Tennessee is gonna be like often.
Yeah, it's just gonna
Is
be
that
doing
type of
dumb
like
shit,
just
yeah.
dumb? Yeah,
Yeah.
got me so much more hyped for it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because it was like,
We had fun in a
Well,
shitbox Jeep in the middle of the fucking woods.
And that's what I mean too. Like with rejuvenation, man. Like normally, every time we've came home since we moved away has been for like 2 or 3 days, and we get to see everybody for like one like 3 or 4 hour session, and we're just scrambling. Which granted, when we went home this time, we were still running around because we had to run around all day Thanksgiving to surprise everybody, and then it was just like doing all the little stuff with everybody. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I loved seeing everybody, but we got to spend time with the people that we want to spend time with more, because we just came home. We had no fucking plans. We just came home, did what we want. And I got to spend a lot more time with Travis and Matt and TJ, and got to see Brian Tomlinson and Brian Hancock. And granted, like those guys, it was only one night, but like the amount of time I spent with like Travis and Matt, because conveniently it's Thanksgiving, they had the weekend off. Like if we didn't do that, that's not time we would have had. I mean, every time we've came home, it's only been for like one night and just relaxing or at a party or something. Whereas like this time it was, hey, we met up before, and then the next day we hung out at Billy's house, and then the next day we hung out at Hill's house driving the Jeep and had the party, and just like all that little stuff was just made it all worth it, you know?
yeah, definitely, bro.
It's good.
Teary-eyed.
Good for the mentee, you know? No
For
more,
the mentee
no
age.
more
you know?
mentee bees anymore.
Yeah, right. That was good though. Yeah, that was rejuvenating because that was kind of the time I started doing that whole just work and come home thing. So it was
Yeah.
just a
Yeah, me
robot, and I
too.
went back to work Monday. You know, they asked how my weekend was. I was like, man, it
You
was
know?
fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you
Like,
fucking know.
and I worked like a
Yeah.
son of a bitch that week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I say that shit all the time. Like, I think it was us. I don't know if we talked about it last week or if we were talking about it after the podcast or if it was just me and Travis talking in Discord one night. That like it has been so hard to explain like what that moment was. Like
can't.
driving the Jeep in the woods. It has been so hard. I think we talked about it last week on the pod. Like it has been so hard to articulate to that moment to people because of just like how much fucking fun it was and like what the moment meant.
Dude, there was like adrenaline, but there was happiness. It was a change of scenery for all of us.
Yeah. It was the
And it was,
fear. Like
yeah, dude, like we could have fucking,
we could
Yeah.
have wrapped it around a tree. Like not
but we
that
didn't give
I
a
think
fuck.
that was
Should've.
gonna happen. Should have.
Yeah. Shockingly didn't.
But like just the amount of dopamine, like still thinking back to the riding in the woods just makes me smile. It was such a good
Yeah.
time. I think everybody needs to experience
Dude,
something like that, bro.
I was literally at work. I don't know if I said this last week, but I was at work listening back. No, I couldn't have said it. I was at work listening back to it, like us talking about it, dude. And I'm like literally by myself in an aisle at work. It's like 3 in the morning, and I'm like chuckling,
Yeah, dude.
listening
Like
to us.
every time I
talking
listen to
about
the podcast,
fucking-
like something dumb will happen. I'll just be like, I can't believe we fucking talked about that or we did that, and then thinking back to it in public,
yeah,
just
dude.
laughing at ourselves.
Yeah, and I start smirking and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
It's really bad. We laugh at ourselves way
I
too
picked
much.
up my friend. I picked up my friend and I was listening back to the podcast and he goes, Jesus. He was like, you got to listen to your own voice. And I was like, I was seeing how the fucking sound came
Yeah,
out.
like,
all right?
fuck
I was
you,
like,
dude.
God damn. He was like, I don't know. It just, looks a little like a narcissist, bro. Just saying.
Did
And I was like,
when you were hanging out with your friend, did you pick him up?
Oh, yo, I just remembered what you fucking told us when we came home about that fucking podcast.
What?
About how you fucking... Yeah,
Oh
dude,
my
we never
God.
talked about it last week.
yeah, dude. Holy fuck. How did we forget that?
I don't know. You gotta talk about it. You gotta bring it up.
I'm confused.
Oh
You'll remember in a
my
second.
God, bro. The fan.
That stopped him in P-Chops, bro.
Oh shit!
Yes, bro.
That's right.
This kid's about to be hype
Yes.
as fuck.
All right. So it was like I always have came in earlier than like the rest of the night crew to kind of break down everything and then like get it situated for when they come in.
Yeah, hard
So
worker
I go
stuff.
in at 9:30 and they sure.
Sorry.
So they come in at 11 and it's like 9:45, like 10. Like I barely just got to work.
Yeah.
I'm barely awake. Shit, like barely functioning. And I'm like, I had my hat on backwards. Like I kind of, like I was just wearing normal clothes. Like I didn't have like,
Yeah, you're just
I
at
don't wear a
work.
uniform or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this guy and girl who were like probably mid-20s. I didn't ask, but
You also
They
didn't
looked
ask
our
their
age.
name. Heat of the moment.
no, I didn't.
You know.
Right.
No, I was super busy. And then I got caught with this, and I'm like, what the? Yeah. So I was definitely out of my game there. But they came up and was like, hey, this is gonna sound really weird, but do you have a podcast? And I was like, I got like giddy, bro. I was like, yeah, I do. Why? And they were like, is it the TKT? Because me and my boyfriend like actually watch you guys. You're funny as hell.
That's fucking so
And
fire.
yeah, dude, dude, I was
Goosebumps,
blushing.
bro.
I was like,
Man-
oh my God, thank you so much.
Dude,
You
yeah,
know,
like I would have
yeah,
been so
whole thing.
happy. I would have forgot to ask for a name too. Like I would have been so fucking pumped, man. I would have just
Yeah,
been
dude, they-
cheesing, laughing, and
They gave me a high five and then they went on their way. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. I was giddy for like 4.5 hours after
Yeah.
that interaction. and it
That
worked.
is awesome.
The worst part is they probably went home and
coworkers
told
didn't
somebody
believe me.
about it, and they're like, "Who the fuck is? What are you talking about? What? I've never heard of that podcast."
My coworkers didn't believe me. They thought I was lying.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
But-
I'd be the same way if anybody came up and asked me. I'd be like giddy and fucking.
But that was the first dude. Oh my fucking god! I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, that's fucking
If
awesome.
you're
Yeah, I didn't
listening
know
and
what to
watching
do.
This one, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
If you are listening to this
Whoever-
podcast or watching it on YouTube, and you were the gentleman and young lady that came and said hi to TJ, please comment or leave a comment in the Q&A on
Yeah,
Spotify
or
or
hit me
Apple,
up if
whatever
you
you
know
need
me.
to.
Something.
Maybe you
Whatever you
Yeah,
need to
we'll
do,
get you.
let us know. We'll get your picture on here. We'll
We'll
have
reach
you on
out.
as a guest. Like, let's get this done.
Yeah,
Okay.
something. Yeah.
Come
All
be the
right.
first official guest fan.
Yeah, the first official fan. We're gonna do. We'll call it
Oh,
OnlyFans.
we can have him call in.
Yeah.
Only fan might get that. That might get trademarked.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
So, yeah.
Either way,
But
guys,
yeah. So, dude, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, I
is
completely
awesome.
forgot.
To
about
whoever you
that.
are, thank you. That made my fucking week,
Yeah.
month. That
we
was
hope
year.
We
dope.
make your week.
Like it was the end of the year. It definitely made my year hearing that. Like that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means we're doing something right. You know what I mean? We're
And that's
affecting.
something we
We're
talked
touching
about
people's
before.
lives. We're touching people.
Yeah, that's something we talked about before on another podcast. Was we either whether
Let's
it's
not get a
one-
quote on that.
whether it's one fan or 100 fans, like
Yeah,
if we make a difference in someone's life,
Is someone?
that's what
we'll
matters.
take that.
That's why we started it. I did have one thing I wanted to talk about today. It's not something that probably any of our listeners give a single fuck about, but it's something that I thought was
Okay.
pretty fucking interesting, and it pisses me off a little bit. So, are you guys familiar with the CDL, the Call of Duty League? You guys know anything about it?
Very
You
small amount.
know it's a thing, though, right? Like, so it's the professional
I know
Call of
some
Duty League.
teams.
I know it's like ranked and shit, right?
Yeah, so it's the professional Call of Duty League. Like they host majors, blah blah blah. Well, the season just started. I believe it was on the 8th. It was Friday. The season just started. The season typically runs from about December to June-ish or the end of June. So there's a good time off in
Yeah,
between.
I was playing.
Well, yeah. Well, so usually
Yeah.
it's broadcasted on Twitch or YouTube or one of them exclusively. Last year, I believe it was exclusively on Twitch or both. I can't remember. I just always watch it on Twitch. Are you guys familiar with the name Scump and Zuma?
No.
You don't know Scump.
Honestly, for some reason, Scump sounds familiar.
Scump is probably the greatest Call of Duty player of all time. I'll probably die
Yeah.
on that hill.
Yeah,
People
Scump.
probably disagree, but he's the longest tenured, not the most accolades, but probably the best overall and consistent player. Anyways, so he retired not the end of last year. It was either in the middle of the year or the year prior. And
Yeah.
he started hosting Optic watch parties, played for Optic his whole career, or essentially his whole career. And he hosts watch parties on Twitch on his channel with like 3 or 4 of the OG Optic players alongside him. And they were able to broadcast the game, like show the footage, the audio, talk about it, watch game VODs after. Same thing with Zuma. So Zuma just did it with FaZe, and he has a show called The Flank. So that's where they would watch all the games live, have the watch party, and then afterwards analyze the VODs, watch the highlights, talk about stats, take notes. Like it's a show. Like it's legitimately a sports
Okay.
show for CDL, both of these guys, right? So this year, the CDL, mind you, just announced maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that they were signing exclusively with YouTube. So the broadcasts are only going on YouTube. Meaning, the people that watch on Twitch now have to go to YouTube. Not a big deal. It's just a different link, right? Not serious. Well, they've decided to not allow these shows, like Scump's Watch Party and Zuma's Watch Party, to not have access to video or audio of the stream on Twitch. Okay, makes sense. They signed a deal with YouTube, just like Amazon. Like you can only watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon or Twitch. Makes sense. Like I can't go to ESPN and watch that game. Okay, totally fine. The problem within this is the CDL and YouTube have now told Zuma and Scump, they told them fucking yesterday or the day before, 2 hours before the season started, you are not allowed to watch VOD, highlights, or break down the fucking game after it's already been played. To put that in perspective for you, that'd be like the NFL signing an exclusive rights with CBS and then telling ESPN you're not allowed to show highlights, audio, any footage after the game's already been broadcast. And mind you, anyone can go on YouTube and watch this VOD after, can watch the highlights after, can talk about the game after, anything, but they cannot do it on Twitch. They cannot do it on Twitch. They have to do it on YouTube. They cannot access the VOD and watch it after the fact on Twitch. Like, they can go and watch it. They just can't talk about it or show it on Twitch after the fact.
They can't even talk about it?
They can talk about it, but they can't have the audio or the footage.
So it's basically...
So, like, their watch parties right now are literally them just sitting there reacting to what's happening with no audio or no video. They're literally watching the CDL without sound so that no one can see it. Huh?
Oh, never.
Like,
yeah,
they're watching it,
stupid.
but, like, we can't see it from our end, and we can't hear it.
Yeah.
So we're literally just watching four guys sit there and talk. And this may not seem like a fucking big deal, but these two guys essentially saved the fucking CDL last year. And why I say that is because the main broadcast, like the Call of Duty League broadcast, was getting 40, 50, 60,000 viewers. Scump and Zuma, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 viewers. Like, they're pulling in the same amount of viewership. They're tripling their exposure because of how good these shows are for people, because it's real fucking Call of Duty players watching this and reacting and talking about it and giving their input, and people want to hear it. And now they're just like, hey, you can't do that unless you do it on YouTube. So guys like Scump and fucking Zuma, who have been on Twitch for a decade, are like, I mean, you're going to have to throw money our way. Like, there's no chance. You're going to lose half your viewership because nobody's going to watch the regular CDL broadcast.
Right.
And so I was listening to a video, and the reason why I bring this up is because I think it's a really fucking good idea. Is Sam Octane LaRue, he used to play for 100 Thieves, usually goes on Zuma's thing and reacts with all of them. And he was like, jokingly started to do like color commentary for it, and I was like, that is a fucking great idea. Why don't they just do that? Because the broadcasters that are in esports typically have not played the game professionally. So if they start fucking doing like radio color commentary on Twitch where they can't show the audio and the video, there's another career avenue for them, things like that. And it'd probably be fun as fuck to listen to. Like, because they're not signed by the league. They can say whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, they can say whatever the fuck they want. They can swear. They can do whatever.
No, that would be fun.
I'd watch the fuck out of that.
Yeah, me too.
I just like the connection. That's what immediately clicked in my head was if CBS signs an all-exclusive rights with the NFL and then telling ESPN, hey, you can't show this after. You can't show the highlights. You can't show the clips. I mean, shit, it'd be like Amazon doing it now with Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy would that be? Like, the world would blow up. I know it's just like esports and CDL, no one gives a fuck. But just, like, that status of it is like, you're going to lose 60,000 viewers minimum.
Yeah.
And you're not going to allow those people to watch it after the fucking fact when anybody can go and see it and view it and watch it. It makes no fucking sense.
That is so dumb.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, even if, I understand you have the exclusivity on YouTube, but even if after the fact, I can go on there and watch it, why can't I pull it up on fucking Twitch? Like, what are you going to do?
Right.
You're going to fucking ban me on Twitch for fucking going back and watching the VOD on my fucking stream? Not even showing it, just the audio, bro. Just the audio. They can't even have audio. Like, nothing. That is so fucking crazy to me.
That's...
How the fuck...
Like, how
I can't even go. I cannot legally go on Twitch and watch a fucking 30-second clip of something cool that might have happened, a comedy clip of the CDL, Even if it's on Twitter or whatever, I can't be live streaming on Twitch and have that audio play in my background. And I could get copyright strike just as if I played regular music on there.
Damn.
Fucking what, dude? That is
Yeah,
fucking wild to me.
How
That's
like
How are they
how
gonna?
can they just be like, nope?
Yeah.
Well,
Let
they should
alone.
want people talking about it.
Yeah, and
They should want
like
that.
these guys find out like hours before the season starts. They've had 6 months to tell these guys about it. They found out hours before, like, hey, you can't do this, and they're all like scrambling, trying to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do. It's fucking stupid, man. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But
It's fucking stupid.
I don't really have anything else to talk about, guys. However, I do have a bunch of stuff written down for the sports podcast for Thursday, so make sure you guys tune into that if you're into sports.
Tune in. Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
bunch too.
Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this episode of the TKT Podcast, 2 Kill Time Podcast, please leave a like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, or leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Let's try and get some more 5 stars. And please let us know either in the comments or in the Q&A of the Spotify and Apple what you want to hear us talk about. Like, we like talking about a bunch of different stuff. If you want our opinion on a certain topic, we can make it a segment. If you guys want to hear more about something in the sports podcast, same thing. But anyways, guys, much love, and we'll see y'all in the next week.
See ya.
Peace.